if someone had told me I would destroy everything I loved most, that I would break an entire family apart, and that after doing so, I wouldn't recognize myself in the mirror, I wouldn't have believed them. But that's exactly what happened. My name is Natalie, and this is the story I never thought I'd have the courage to share. A little over a year ago, I was engaged to the man I believed was the love of my life. His name was Ryan. We met in college, in a history class we both hated. And somehow, between assignments, laughter, and sleepless nights, we fell in love. 4 years together, and one afternoon, Ryan threw a party. He didn't say why, just asked me to dress up. When we arrived, both of our families were there waiting. My mom, my sisters, my cousins, his mom, his dad, and his younger brother, Logan. Everyone was laughing, eating, celebrating. We had a great time. And just before 10 o'clock, Ryan asked for silence. He had a glass in his hand, and a look I'll never forget. He got down on one knee and proposed in front of everyone. I said yes, crying, screaming, hugging. My mom was crying. His dad hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. We celebrated until the sun came up. It was one of those moments when everything just feels right. A few months later, we bought a small house on the outskirts of Denver. It was modest, but full of promise. We were already talking about the wedding, the guests, the menu. And then that job offer came. Ryan was called to Seattle. 3 months, a big project, a guaranteed promotion. I told him to go, that I'd handle the move, the house. I didn't want to be an obstacle. I loved him, and I trusted him. And that's when everything started to change. Logan, his younger brother, came back into the picture. He was always quiet, distant. At family gatherings, we barely exchanged words. But when he heard I'd be moving in alone, he offered to help. And I said yes. He was his brother. What could go wrong? At first, it was just that. Boxes, tools, furniture. But then came the conversations. And then the glances. Those looks you should never receive when you're engaged to someone else. We started sharing things, music tastes, favorite movies, childhood memories. And before I knew it, I was seeking him out too. One night, after finishing painting the living room, we sat on the floor with beers, talking about everything and nothing. And then he kissed me. It was soft, slow, silent, but in my head, it felt like the world was screaming. I pulled away instantly, told him it couldn't happen, that I loved Ryan, and he just looked down. But he didn't apologize. He didn't seem sorry. After that, everything changed. Awkward silences, unanswered messages, and a weight in my chest that wouldn't let me breathe. 2 weeks later, Ryan came back. He was happy, full of plans, gifts, hugs. He told me about Seattle, the promotion, how much he'd missed me. And I felt like I was breaking in two. I tried to fake it, to carry on like nothing happened. But everything felt different. Even Logan avoided my eyes. Until one night, the three of us had dinner. It was during that dinner that Ryan noticed something. A look, a gesture, I don't know. That night, he asked me if something was going on. I lied, told him no, but a week later, he found a message on my phone. It was from Logan. It only said, "Are you okay?" But that was enough. Ryan confronted me with a calm that hurt more than yelling, and I didn't have the strength to keep lying. I told him the truth, all of it, no sugarcoating. Ryan didn't yell. He didn't insult me. He just looked at me like he didn't know who I was anymore. He said, "Thank you for telling me," and left. That was the last time I saw him. I found out from his mother that he canceled the wedding, sold the house, and cut off all contact with Logan. They never spoke again. His mom called me a few days later. She told me I had destroyed both of her sons. I had no words, because she was right. Logan came looking for me, told me what we felt was real, that we could try, start over. And I told him, how do you start something new when it was born from someone else's pain? I couldn't. Today, I live in another state, alone, without Ryan, without family. And even though time passes, there are still nights when I wake up asking myself, at what exact moment did I stop being me? Where do you think I went wrong from the very beginning? What was my biggest mistake? I'd love to read your thoughts. Sometimes, when you're in the middle of the storm, you just can't see clearly. But from the outside, everything might look a lot more obvious.